Hey, welcome everybody. I am so excited to have you guys here as we talk about activating our health tonight. My name is Amy Dippold, and I'm coming to you from south of Des Moines, Iowa. We used to be in the city, and now we are way out into the country, learning the homestead life, loving it out here, and just so thankful to be here with you all and educating you. A little bit about my background. You're going to be hearing about a company called LifeVantage tonight and activation. And I was introduced to this opportunity back in 2015, 10 years ago, from my mother-in-law of all people. I watched her health dramatically change after she was introduced to activation. But I was young and I had excuses, a lot of financial excuses, busy excuses. And I'm so thankful she was persistent with me. She got us activated, so I can say we've been activated now for 10 years. And I can honestly say 10 years later, I feel better than I was 10 years ago. I mean, that's just something that I'm like, this is such a deep, deep passion in my life. Because when you know how good it can be, why would you ever keep that to yourself? So I started sharing that information with people. And in 2016, so 9 years ago, I partnered with this amazing company to share it. And I was a very busy, very tired mom. Activation took away my chronic fatigue. I would say I had struggled for years with just chronic tiredness. I was the queen of naps. My husband, since knowing me, since meeting me, he knew me as a professional nap taker. And in my full-time day job, I scheduled my clients around a nap a day. And I'm like, man, I am scared to see what I feel like 10 years, 20 years from now, because if I'm aging like this, there's something wrong with me. And I did not want to find out what that was. Enter activation, literally 30 days after getting my body activated with what you're going to learn about tonight. I stopped taking naps. I started feeling more energy. I wanted to work out. I didn't have the monthly headaches that would come. I didn't have so many different problems that I was facing before activation. My body started to fix itself. And so, when you start to feel better, you want to share it with people. And that's why I'm here today. After just 2 years of sharing this in the nooks and crannies, it completely changed our lives. We had options. I was able to close the doors on my day job, which I was a behavioral health counselor, intervention specialist, and I worked with children and families, and I was able to walk away from that and focus on being full-time with my kids. Then in 2020, we started homeschooling. In 2023, we moved out into an acreage and started homesteading, and our life just looks completely different. And so you just never know when you take that first step. And like for me, that first step of just getting my health back and how that ripple effect turned into helping other people get their health back, and now we're here. So I am so excited to share what this is all about tonight, but I have an amazing co-host that I want to introduce to you as well. Her name is Ashley Lester. She is a registered nurse, also lives about 7 miles from me. We had no idea we were neighbors until we connected on social media, which is just so cool how that happens. And she has a really cool story as well. And so we're going to kind of tag team through this activation tonight, but she's also a homesteader. I call her a warrior mama. She's absolutely incredible and a social media queen, but she's also very knowledgeable. So she's going to help me teach about these products tonight. So without further ado, let's get started. And I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to dive into activation with this activation company, but we're also going to talk about something specific tonight called the high-speed health stack. So you're going to learn about these activators, and it's all kind of put into a stack that we're focusing on teaching you about, but we got some more extra goodies to throw in there. So the company behind this is called LifeVantage. Again, this company has been around for a long time, and this is my first ever network marketing company. I've never been with another one before or after, and I don't plan to. This is my home. And honestly, I said I would never do this, but I'm so thankful that LifeVantage entered my life. It is known as the activation company, okay? So what you're gonna see is everything that we're teaching you tonight is a paradigm shift away from supplementation. Now, I had a really thick skull. It took me a while to understand this because, again, we have been raised with what? You're deficient, you need supplements, pound more supplements, put more in your body. That's not the case. We have been designed and created to have a pharmacy inside our body that when we activate it and turn it on, it can make what it needs to make in most cases. So that is such a really cool concept. So we hashtag take it to make it. We empower our bodies to make antioxidants, proteins, enzymes, things that you need for better health. And then, like I started doing, when you share LifeVantage, you're activating an opportunity to earn income. It's not for everybody. You don't have to. I was a customer for a year before I ever opened up my mouth. Now, if I could go back, I'd start sharing it from day one. But that's the beautiful thing about LifeVantage is 80% of my entire organization is just happy, happy customers that get coupons to spend towards their product. So I want to let Ashley talk about this one a little bit, who we are as LifeVantage, because her background and her story is a little different than mine. This is my first ever company. This she's experienced network marketing before. So Ashley, can you share?
Absolutely. Hello, you guys. Thank you for being here. So, like Amy said, I do have some experience in the network marketing world. I did come from another company. Well, not directly, I didn't hop. I did a company for several years. I did a couple companies here and there before that. So I kind of have a background. And it was funny, I was talking to Amy on social media about, I would say last fall, and I literally pounded it in the ground like a fence post saying, Amy, I'm not doing this. I may try the products at some point, but I am not doing this. And I said it, I didn't realize I had said it so much. And her daughter finally said, okay, Ashley, we get it. You don't want to do this. So it was something that I had promised myself I was never doing again because of just I didn't align with it anymore. My life was kind of going in a different direction. And so when I started the products, I was doing some research on the company and it really blew my mind. I know there's a lot of people that it's going to sound cliche that this is different, and it truly is. And one of the things that really drew me in was every single thing was Christ centered here. Everybody may not be, but even the company was talking about faith. Even when we went to convention, leaders, very large leaders within this company, were talking about faith in Jesus on the stage. And I was like, you do not hear that. You do not see that anywhere. And so that was where this was very different for me. The fact that we are debt free, this company has been alive since, what did we talk about? 16 years today, I think is what Amy and I had talked about. 16 years, and that's a really long time. Going through what this world has gone through economy wise in the last couple of years, even a decade, for them to be debt free and soaring and just absolutely flying, that is huge. Sold over 2 billion products. You guys, this next one publicly traded on the NASDAQ. I don't know if you know this, but this as a business, that is a huge deal to be publicly traded. There is only a handful. And when I say a handful, the other ones that are actually publicly traded, they are huge companies. And so the fact that LifeVantage is publicly traded, that was a huge thing for me. And that made me even more interested because there are not many that are. We're in the entrepreneur magazine. It's just really, it's just different. And I was really intrigued, cautious, but I was very intrigued. So I'm more excited now than I was, obviously, but I'm excited to see where this goes for sure. So where did LifeVantage come from? So there was a scientist, Dr. McCord. He created um, this perfect recipe over 40 years. And it started with our protandem. Okay, he found the sod molecule. It's a very long word, scientific word, that shows that it actually will decrease oxidative stress. And when you activate that, so it took him 40 years to create the perfect recipe that actually will reduce our oxidative stress. There's an ABC Primetime investigative report. We can send it to you, so get in touch with the person who invited you, and we can send that video to you. It's very old video, so the effects and the video quality is not that great, but it was like 20 years ago. So, but it's really cool, and it's still very true today. That was really cool because generally, ABC Primetime investigative reports will kill a company because they are literally there to debunk it. And that was not the case for LifeVantage and our little activator pill, Protandim NRF2. So that was where it was launched to the market in 2003. They put it on the shelves and Amy, can you touch on that a little bit? You know the history of that a little bit better than I do.
Yeah, and I think that that was just something where, like, coming from another company, you're like, man, that is unique because very, very few companies start with research first, a product first, and then just need a way to market it. And so that's exactly what happened. Is it sat on store shelves, but people, this was way ahead of its time, you guys. Activation and gene expression is all the rage right now, but back then in 2005, that ABC report like skyrocketed sales for a time, but people didn't understand it. So it sat on store shelves for $50 a bottle, and people didn't buy it because they were being told to buy vitamin C. So that's why we made this switch in 2009 to direct sales, right? Straight from the distribution center to your front doorstep. But I think that this is important to know just because, like, we're not just just any company out there trying to sell something. There's such a rich history here, and there's a progress, and the best way to bring it to you is to educate you because we believe that you making an informed decision over your health is the most powerful thing that we can give. When you are educated and you can decide and other people can be taught how to take back control of their health, what better gift is that? And so that's exactly what we do here and why we are set up this way. But in this journey, we've had universities, medical centers, we've had tons of third-party validation and research on our patented product. So tonight we're gonna go through these products first. This is the High Speed Health Stack. This is our latest promotion at LifeVantage. This promotion puts some products in a bundle for you that saves you money, but then on top of it, they're giving free NAD. Now, you don't probably know what that all means right now, but Ashley and I are gonna unpack that for you. Here's the gist, here's the overview of the health benefits that this stack gives people. Is it defends against the impacts of cellular stress for whole body wellness. Like, this is the foundation. If you are grabbing for a whole bunch of things right now and nothing seems to be working, you can know for certain that this is going to bring you back to a place of defending your body. It's going to help curb cravings, hunger, take back control of your relationship with food. It's going to help lose body fat and maintain muscle. That's a big one. A lot of people are losing weight out there. That's a trend, but they're losing muscle with it. It's going to help you burn 181 more calories daily, boost your energy and your motivation, and support mental clarity and longevity. So that's some of the benefits, but let's unpack that a little bit, okay? Going back to where it all started. It started with this Protandim product like Ashley had mentioned, Protandim NRF2. Now, what this is all about is that ABC Primetime Investigative Report did a blood test and validated on national television the claims that this doctor was making. He was claiming that he could reduce oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days. That is unheard of across the world. Never has that been done before, and never has it been done since. This is the only product on earth that can make that claim. What a powerful, powerful thing that we can say as a public company. So if you look at that chart right there, you see oxidative stress goes up. That's that red line until death, right? What do we experience when oxidative stress? Like when we're rusting from the inside out, what are you experiencing? How are you feeling? How are you aging? Probably not good, because it's a direct correlation to every problem that you face. But after Protandim, you couldn't distinguish the 20-year-old from the 80-year-old in everyone. It was across the board, it reduced that much. That is very significant, you guys. And so what happens when we have uncontrolled oxidative stress? What is this all about? It took me so long for me to understand this, because in the society that we're in right now, tell me, like, if you're watching in the comments, like, what are they telling you? They're saying, oh, you have this problem. Let me give you this med to treat that symptom, blah, 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 right? That's not what we do in activation, okay? So we are a natural company, so we are not claiming to cure, treat, prevent, mitigate any disease. That is not what we're talking about. So, but oxidative stress is affecting and contributing to all of those. So we are bypassing those problems and we are going to the center of it and we're ripping that bad boy out by the roots, right? How much better do you think you will feel, perform, like age in general, if you have 40 to 70% less oxidative stress at the root of your body? That's why I think every single person needs this product in their life to bring them back to a baseline, because you and every single person has oxidative stress. It's uncontrollable right now because we are living in the most toxic time in human history. And if we can reduce that in everyone, we are going to perform so much better. So it affects us differently based on our genetic makeup, right? If you've heard the saying before, it runs in my family, it's in my DNA, right? For my husband, it was going to his heart. High oxidative stress was affecting his heart, and he was being prescribed medications that he did not want to take at a very young age. I was praying for a solution. I found this, and this was my answer to prayer. For some people, it shows up in their skin, right? How many people do you know that have skin issues right now? How do you think they would feel if they reduce their oxidative stress? There's kidney issues. It shows up in the joints in different people, right? In lungs. For me, it was my brain. I was really just struggling with constant, tired brain fog. I was so worried about how my brain was aging. And then I also had worked in an Alzheimer's unit and I was actively researching, what kind of drugs out there on the market can help with Alzheimer's. Well, if we bypass the drugs and just go to the root of some of the foundational issues, we're going to see some improvement. So I hope that this makes sense to you. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can go to the National Library of Medicine, pubmed.gov, and you can just type in oxidative stress. There's over 300,000 studies talking about oxidative stress linked to a problem. So this is, guys, across the board foundationally, we take Protandim NRF2 to make our own antioxidants, right? Because antioxidants is a buzzword. We have oxidative stress. They knock that out, right? And your body's endogenous antioxidants are 1 million times stronger than any supplement you can take. You can take high levels of vitamin C till kingdom come. Your body has its own antioxidant production machines in it. That was discovered in SOD, glutathione, your master antioxidant enzyme, catalase. These all gobble up free radicals faster than any supplement you can take. So oxidative stress equals aging. Antioxidants fight oxidative stress. Activate that production with Protandim, okay? This is the foundation. It's 5 herbs. And like Ashley said, it took 40 years to perfect that recipe. So don't go in your kitchen and think you can take those 5 herbs and do this. The synergy of this is patented 7 times because the recipe is perfected. When you take products, I want you to know recipes matter. They can either contribute in good synergy or they can counteract. And you do not know what you're doing if you're just popping a bunch of pills. Here's just a picture of all the independent research, the 20 peer-reviewed, 27 now, I believe, peer-reviewed studies. There are some really wild things out there. As a company with this product, we cannot conduct research on specific diseases, but the claim that we can make is to reduce oxidative stress. So if you want to go see how oxidative stress is in relation to all these health problems, then you can connect those dots. This is why we are trying to teach you and inform you of those things, okay? So this is just something that blows my mind. This was the year in 2015 when I was introduced to this. Washington State University released a summary all about NRF2 activation. Now, if you go out and listen to biohackers out there, they're all talking about NRF2 activation. LifeVantage started in 2009. We're in 2025, and now everybody's talking about it, but we have the most potent NRF2 activator in the world. It's a master regulator of detoxification, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, sister protective mechanisms. This is huge, you guys. And it doesn't come with any of the bad side effects that drugs do. And it says NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. This is happening right now in 2025, and we have it. That is what makes me so excited and why every person needs to have this on their table like salt and pepper. So the next thing in this stack, okay, so now that you understand the basic foundation of activation, Protandim, the next thing in this stack is something called fat burn. Now, fat burn, that's kind of an interesting word. I'm going to just play a short video to help explain it to you in a much better way than I can break it down. So just stay tuned. It's 1 minute long.
Every day, in every way, you take care of yourself so you can feel strong and look your best. What if you could achieve more with your healthy habits? Reach your wellness goals faster with Physique Fat Burn. A unique blend of citrus and guarana extracts, plus B vitamins and green coffee bean extract, activates your body to turn white stored fat into a form the body can easily burn for energy through a process called fat beiging. A 16-week study on this key ingredient showed 3 astonishing results. Increased resting energy expenditure by 181 calories per day. Total fat decreased by 5.2%, or approximately 4 pounds, with no change in diet or exercise. And 65% of the fat loss was in the waist and hips, an area many struggle to slim down. So make your healthy habits do more and turn your body into a lean, mean wellness machine with Physique Fat Burn, and eat, sleep, exercise, repeat to keep living in a body that you love.
All right. Uh-oh. Well, we're going to try to get out of this. There we go. So that's the fat burn, guys. It's a great product. It's not something I have a lot of experience with, but we have it in our household. My husband's taken it, and I've taken it off and on, not to try to burn fat, but just to see how I feel. And it's such a great product. So that's number 2 in the stack. Number 3 in the stack is another Protandim, only it is Protandim NAD synergizer, okay? So NRF2 is a pathway that reduces oxidative stress. NAD is a pathway that turns on your longevity, okay? This is the part of the cell that removes the waste. So if you think about NRF2, it comes in and it's like the garbage man that cleans up all the trash. NAD takes it away, okay? It takes it far away, it removes it from the body. So it supports your cellular autophagy. This product improves your mental focus and concentration. It supports a positive mood and your motivation, like that motivation that you've been looking for. I'm telling you, take the NAD and your body's gonna be like, bing, I want to work out. Bing, I want to keep working out. Like I went from just barely making it to a workout to when I got activated, it was like I wanted to work out, but then now it's like I want to keep going. Like I've worked out a couple times today, not like I did a full workout in the gym, but like I've wanted to stop and just do push-ups because my body wants to. And I'm not kidding, like that motivation thing is real. I heard another new activator just tell me, a new friend of mine who's activated, she just said it the other day. She's like, man, like I feel like I can keep pushing myself when I'm at the gym now. Yep, it's a real thing. Boosting your mental and physical energy, supporting healthy inflammatory response. Like this is a big deal. Also maintaining cholesterol levels are already in a healthy range and supporting a healthy vascular system. Now this, I could go on and on about this. I know Ashley's pretty excited about the NAD too, and I want to point out this NAD Synergizer is free in the High Speed Health Stack. Free! It's like a free $60 product. You get all of these benefits. Ashley, what do you want to say about Protandim NAD?
Okay, so I am extremely passionate about this. When I first heard about this Protandim NAD, I started doing research. I did not start out with it. I started out with other basic stuff. And so when I started researching, okay, there's more activators, there's this NAD, let's start learning about it. And I just want to tell y'all, as a nurse, everybody thinks that I know all of this stuff or I did when I started. That I went through my nursing books. No joke. I have all my nursing books. I've read all my nursing books, and I thought I was losing my mind because I don't remember learning about this. It's because we didn't. It's not in nursing books, but I know enough science to be able to put things together and understand the science when I read it. So when I started reading that it supported autophagy. That is what happens. So if you know anything about extended fasting, that is really good, right? We're getting in there so certain cells are dying, cellular waste getting out of there. The fact that our own NAD pathway does that through sirtuins is mind-blowing. We have 7 sirtuins, okay? They each do different things, and they have to be activated by this NAD. Like, it's just, that's just how it is. That's the scientific process. And I geek out on all this scientific stuff. But the fact, like, I did not know, even as a nurse and a science geek, I did not know that we had these pathways. And the fact that we do, and that we literally can activate them through herbs. I mean, why wouldn't we? That is literally God's work. He created us. He created the herbs. Of course, he gave those things to us to be able to work, because he knew what this world was going to look like, right? There's just so many puzzle pieces that started to get put together. And NAD is just so important. This is getting prescribed to people, not this Protandim NAD. Well, I mean, through some doctors, yes. But in other, conventional doctors, they are getting this prescribed in injections and infusions as a synthetic. And that is not healthy. They don't know the long-term side effects of those. But they're getting it prescribed to them for their mood, sad mood, anxiety, all these different things that a lot of people are feeling. And they're prescribing it because they know that the NAD will unlock their sirtuins because it is healthy. Like so many other things, why not do it a natural way? Why not let your own pathways do it? It's a million times more effective. You would have to take 100, like the Protandim NRF2, you would have to take 120 pills of vitamin C to even remotely come close to what that Protandim does. So I'm really passionate about this because, and I'm going to talk more about it here in just a little bit when we get to that slide, but we're going to talk about GLP-1. This is what I came in on. Amy tried to get me to not do the shots. I was in a moment of weakness, and I did do the shots for two months. They didn't do much for me. I stopped them cold turkey. We don't always recommend that. And I'm going to tell you why. When you are on this synthetic shot, this is where I'm very passionate about the GLP-1. So we have a system, it's a 2-part system. When you are putting synthetic GLP-1 hormone in you, you are actually shutting off your own hormone in your body. I don't know if you know this, but you make your own GLP-1 hormone in your body. It's already there. God put it there. You make it. It's in your gut. Okay. So it regulates appetite, blood sugar levels, promotes feeling of fullness and satiety, slows down the rate of food, at which leaves the stomach, all the things that you hear that the synthetic does, right? But that's because we have our own GLP-1. So in a 12-week study, okay, they have found just this system alone, it has increased people's own GLP-1 hormone by 140%. You guys, when I started this GLP-1, I had zero idea. When people kept yapping at me about food noise, I had no idea what that was. I couldn't even tell you the definition of it until I didn't have it. When I started this, I literally, my husband like, what'd you eat today? I don't know. What are we having for supper? Crap, I don't know. I haven't thought about food all day until I started this. Even when I was on the shots for 2 months, and people have results on 2 months on those shots. I didn't. But this stuff, when I activated my own GLP-1, I had so much appetite control and my food noise was gone. Didn't even know I had it. Okay. Lots of people on average in the 12 weeks, they lost 9 pounds in 8 weeks on average, 25 pounds in 12 weeks. One of the really cool things is when you're activating your own GLP-1, you're not losing muscle. When we age, we're losing muscle. When we lose fat, when we lose weight, when you're focused on the number on the scale and you're not doing these things to combat muscle loss, you are losing muscle. And we do not want to do that because we need that. And the fact that nobody lost muscle mass. That was huge. Like that is a huge thing. I don't think some people even understand. 27% in visceral fat. Okay, that's mostly around your stomach, and that is huge. 82% took back their control of relationship with food. 95% had decreased sugar cravings. You guys, I'm telling you, this was my key. This was my key, and it's pretty amazing. So what I started on is what you see on the screen now is the MB Core and MB Enhance and Protandim. So they found through clinical studies that when you combine these, your GLP-1 actually is increased by 200%. And you activate 22 new genes in your body on your own through herbs. You guys, this is wild. This Protandim is key, you guys. Like, you want results and you want to 10x your results, you need Protandim. That is foundation. Amy hit that home, but I'm going to hit it home even further. This one will be something I will never stop taking. And then it together amplified metabolism with 9 new fat and fatty acid pathways. So it's a pretty wild and really awesome stack. I didn't know what to think about it when I first started. I'm not a pill taker. You guys, I have to share this with you. I am not a pill taker. I never have been. Even the tiniest little zinc thing when I was a child and an adolescent, I would have a choking fit. And I was so dramatic, I could not swallow anything. You guys, I can take 5 of our very large herbal capsules now and not even throw a fit, not even choke, nothing. Like, when you see something that is so good and it actually is affecting your body, you get it in your body one way or another. So that's just one small little win. Here's some 12-week people. You guys, let me tell you, and I don't know if Amy put my picture on here or not, but you cannot hide back fat. You can't suck that in. And I didn't even know that until Amy noticed that about my picture. When I had first sent her my picture, she's like, look at your back. I don't even know. Like I didn't even know. So this is Dr. Ashley in the black bikini on the side, day 60. And then Amy, will you share about the other one? That was gut health, yes?
Yeah, so Gloria Brinker, she's a specialist in gut health, and she had been working for years to optimize her gut health, get her weight back in check, really focusing on her calves and her legs and her lower body, and she just could not have the breakthrough until she added the GLP-1 system. And she did this in-body scan, and you can clearly see her body composition drastically changed. And she did before and afters in her dresses and things that weren't fitting, and then how they fit. It's just so exciting to see that happen. Here's more pictures. We'll just quickly go through the rest of these pictures. Just 12-week challenge people who just did the mind body with the Protandim for 12 weeks, and just the differences that you can see are so significant. And people don't often see their own changes as much as the photos share. So I tell everybody, you're going to have your story one time, take the photo. Even if you don't plan to share it with anybody, this only happens, you can only do this once for the first time. And so that's what's really, really exciting. So I do want to zoom in on this one. 13 weeks, down 11 pounds, 17 and a half inches from Marcy. And then here's her labs that
Guys, this is wild. I want you to really pay attention to this. This is absolutely huge. Look at her cholesterol level. So this was literally less than 2 months difference. It was in August and then October. Literally to the day, it was less than 2 months. This is mind blowing to me. Her hemoglobin A1C dropped. Her cortisol dropped. Her uric acid dropped. No, went up. Sorry, went up or dropped. I can't see it. You zoomed out too far.
it dropped.
Dropped, that's right. But her insulin dropped and her glucose dropped. You guys, those are huge. It's because her body is functioning the way that it is supposed to function, because it was fed herbs. It's going to work different for every single person. That's one thing when Amy was talking about it's going to work because different genes, if everybody has different genetics, it's working different for me than it is my husband. It's working different. But my dad and my grandma experienced the same thing. which makes sense, right? Because they're mother and son. And so with the GLP-1, usually what I tell people is to get started with your stack, and then we can add in accelerators. And these are really, really incredible accelerators. And I don't suggest starting all of the accelerators all at once, because that's never good, right? We need you to build habits. We need you to build sustainability. So we always say, get your stack started, get going. Let's add in some accelerators. You get to choose which ones you can commit to, and then you build on that. And they have found that the science has tenfold your results when you add in these accelerators, which is super, super cool. And I can send these to you, and the person that invited you can send these to you for reference. So to recap, this is the high-speed health stack. So I clicked on something, hold on. So I basically started with this stack, only I started with collagen instead of the fat burn. And this is like a huge special, just so y'all know. If you've never seen the prices of anything before, this is a huge, huge thing that LifeVantage is doing, because they know the power of this and the help that they could do. And then you get the NAD for free. So you get the MB Core and the MB Enhance, which is the two. Sorry, my husband is outside the window mocking me. The MB Enhance, you get the 2-part GLP-1 system, the fat burn, the Protandim NRF2, and then you get the NAD for free, which is really cool for 3 months. 3 months. That's wild. So a couple of other activators that we have that I'm going to share is stuff that I take now. Axio is a little packet of powder, and I came from companies that had packets of powder, okay? And I was not trying it. I was like, no, it's another thing. I went over to Amy's house one day. She's like, have you tried Axio? And I said, no, I haven't tried it. Tried it. And I literally, you guys, since January, putting all of these things together, I have not taken a nap. I was napping every single day for the last 2 years. And I didn't do Zoomies because it doesn't do that, but I was actually able to get stuff done. I literally texted her and said, I think a half a packet next time. It was incredible. And I'll talk about the paper on the screen in just a second, but one of the things that I have found for myself is that, so as a nurse, it's very morbid sounding, but I thrive off of code blues. Okay, sounds terrible, but if you're a nurse, healthcare worker, you get it. And one of the reasons I thrive on that is because it gives me so much clarity when I'm in a high intense situation like that. My brain is so clear and so focused, and I craved that at home. I would shut my brain off after work, and I couldn't, like, I was just bleh all the time. But I wanted to be able to be clear, and I've noticed that this has helped me with that clarity. And I don't have to go find it in a code blue, which is, nice. But this stuff is an activator. It activates your neurotransmitters. It activates mental clarity, powers your brain and your body, supports positive mood. You guys, this paper down here in this on this screen is Amy's daughter. Okay, and okay, so this was after 15 minutes. Amy's daughter was like jumping off all the things and going crazy. And she had asked her, have you taken your Axio today? She's like, nope, sure haven't. And so she went and took her Axio, no prompting. 15 minutes later, you can see her spelling test is completely different. This is actually one of the things that intrigued me to even go to Amy's house to try Axio, because I thought maybe it could help my son as well. So that's where I started learning about it. And then we learned about the brain mapping with Axio. They have done brain maps with Axio, Protandim, Nerve2, and Nerve1. Dr. Fannin explains it really, really well. You can see the red spots, the blue spots, and then 2 weeks later, you can see that there's nothing and very minimal. And so that was mind-blowing. This was a ADHD kid. And they were on this stack for 2 weeks. And this really, like, what if I could help my kid better by putting them on this, right? Like, who doesn't want that? And so I started listening to Dr. Fannin. I started researching more, and we put it on. We put my son on the Axio, and you guys, he was able to talk better. We couldn't get him on the Protandim NRF2 or NRF1 right away, but we just did Axio, and he was able to talk more fluently. And so that was really, really, really huge. Axio is very underrated. My husband takes it, and it was a fluke that he took it. I just had him try it to see what he thought of the flavor. And he has the, lovely thing that's undiagnosed at night where you choke on yourself when you're snoring. And he didn't choke on himself that night after he drank it. And he drank it at probably 7 o'clock that night, roughly. He's not sensitive to anything. He can drink anything at any time. So I withheld it from him the next night, and he choked to death. Literally, not literally, but he choked, like, just gurgled on everything. And when they stop breathing, right, they choke. And so I gave him to him the next night, and he didn't do it again. And so he's just had Axio every single night, and he has not done that. One, that's given me a better sleep because I'm not deathly a worry wart for him, but it's helped him sleep so much better. And there's a connection between your brain and your lungs and all of this here. There's connection there. And so he takes his Axio about 7, 8 o'clock at night. And by the time he's ready to go to sleep, his brain is activated enough to allow him to breathe better. And so this has been huge for him. He's noticed that he takes the Protandim NRF2 and the Axio, and he's noticed that he sleeps better. He gets up in the morning better. His bowel movements are better. Like, he just feels so much better, and his aches and pains have basically diminished. I would say at least 75%. He works on concrete and does a whole bunch of things, so he gets some. But this is where I was going earlier, was Protandim Tri-Synergizer. You guys, I was explaining this to somebody. This is the whole vehicle, okay? This is your whole foundational vehicle. And I started with the Protandim NRF2, and I think that is a very good starting point, right? That's where I started. But when I started learning and I started researching what these 3 things can do, yeah, this, you guys, this page, I literally have it saved in my phone, and like, this blew my mind. All these different genes here are activated with these, right? Your Protandim NRF2, which is decreasing the oxidative stress. The Protandim NRF1, we haven't really talked about that, but that is going to focus on your mitochondria. Go back to biology class. That's where we make our ATP, our energy. And this really supports that mitochondrial health and issues, right? If you have a lot of issues, which most of us do when it comes to our mitochondria, if you're tired, you're fatigued, your mitochondria is generally not working the way it should be. And then obviously we've talked about NAD. So you can see here, when you take just Protandim, your oxidative stress is decreased 40% or whatever. I don't remember what that is. But anyway, you can see that when you take all 3 of them together, look at that, 848% on the healthy inflammatory response. You guys, like, that's wild. There's a reason God gave us these pathways, and when they are all working in synergy, your car is working the way it should be. You can't just you can't just put tires on your car and expect it to run like NASA aircraft that doesn't blow up. Like, you have to have all the parts. You have to have the oil. You have to have the antifreeze. You have to have the tires. You have to have the windows. You have to have the motor. You have to have all the things in order for your car or your vehicle to function 100%, right? But if you're missing something, it's not going to function 100%. So when I started to learn more about this Tri-Synergizer, I was all in. I said, I want my machine to run to the max capacity that it can run. So that's what I take now. And then I also take our liquid collagen. We have a really good stack called the Healthy Glow Stack. This is our Protandim Nerve 2 and our liquid collagen. You guys, I was in the same boat when it came to the collagen 2 as I was the Axio. But I did start with a trial of the collagen, and because it came in the stack that I started with a GLP-1. And I was like, oh, I eat enough of the foods that's going to give me enough collagen for the hair, skin, and nails, blah, 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 blah. Then I started researching and learning. And what I didn't know, even as a nurse, because again, we don't really study these things, is that collagen is everywhere inside your body. It is not just hair, skin, and nails. You guys, when I stopped that trial of collagen, I realized that I had so many aches and pains and stiffness and joint mobility problems that I did not even know existed. I've been living with it for so long. A lot of them are in my hips. Amy and I have talked about my hips. This collagen has really helped that. And if you don't know that you're living with those, you're not going to understand. But if you are living with some chronic pains and aches and mobility issues, and then they go away, you are not going to stop taking what made them go away. I got on the collagen so much quicker, and I do not miss it. The Tri-Synergizer and the collagen is a hands down what I take every single day with the Axio. I do the GLP-1 as well. But you guys, I'm telling you, there's collagen everywhere in your body and you need it. And this duo together increases your own collagen density by 100% in 30 days, your own. So this collagen is marine collagen. It's hydrolyzed. It's liquid. It's readily absorbed. Other powder collagens, they don't absorb. They're not put in the right molecular structure for your body to readily use them. This is 10 strains of marine collagen, and it activates your own collagen. So I'm very, very passionate about the collagen. One thing that I thought was really cool when I learned about it was the depth of crow's feet reduced by 22%. Do you guys know that Botox is 23%? Fun fact. Why not take something natural? So I just wanted to share about these because I was really passionate about it, and it's really changed my life personally. And it does taste good, Susan. It tastes delicious.
And I want to add one more thing, with everything that we do, like you're seeing these different stacks, right, that we're talking about. And this stack particular, they did a genome study with it, and you can see kind of in the middle, kind of those study results. But one thing they were not expecting was that this duo stopped the cellular stress cycle. And what that means is it helped calm the immune system. So if you have had traumatic things happen to you and you're stuck in fight or flight and you're overproducing cortisol and you just can't get that to come down, what this stack did is it brought that back down so that your body could rest. You cannot repair if you are not in rest. So this is so much deeper than vanity, you guys. This is really, really, really helping support health at a cellular level. Here's just a couple of before and after pictures. These are some longer before and after pictures, but you can see the dramatic changes that happen in people after they get on the Healthy Glow Stack for some time. We have some 30-day results too. Take your photos. If you're on the GLP-1, if you're on the Healthy Glow Stack, you get this transformation option one time. Do not miss it, because I'm telling you, those photos will blow your mind. Here are the photos of Ashley and her husband, Brian. Ashley, do you want to talk about those?
Yeah. So I didn't realize that Brian had a transformation until the other day. I was stuck at a mechanic shop with a flat tire. So I was looking through my phone and I was comparing stuff, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So Brian takes Protandim Nerve 2 and Axio. You guys, the post that I made about him, you have no idea how many comments people are like, he's reverse aging. He looks so much younger. He looks 10 years younger, blah, blah, blah. Because he does. And that's because his body is aging backwards, because he's becoming healthier, because he's activating these pathways. This was mind blowing to me. I see him every day, so it's hard to see that. And then mine, I just took those pictures, the one picture in the blue dress, I just took it at a screenshot out of a video, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And then you can see early on, I think this was January to March, where you guys, I was talking about the back fat. You can't suck that in. So I was really super excited about that. Um, a couple other things I want to share is Amy was talking about fight or flight a little bit ago. And I was explaining to her a couple weeks ago that I was able to actually wear a tank top in summertime now. I had a traumatic thing happen to me that seemed to activate a stress response to the sun. And so for the last 2 years, I haven't been able to wear a tank top or a shorter short sleeve in the summer because my body would break out into hives. I would get extremely overheated and I had to wear coverings. Even in the pool, I couldn't go swimming unless I had a covering all the way down to my wrists. And I haven't done that this year. And she goes, your body's out of fight or flight finally. So that was really cool. And you guys, I have lived on allergy medications for my entire life. Especially in the summertime, I have to take it. Even if I'm not feeling it, I have to take it because I will always break out to grass. If I mow the yard, I'm done. I will have a sinus infection for 2 weeks. I have not taken an allergy pill at all this entire year. And that's pretty incredible. If you're a struggler from allergies, you know what I mean, and it's a big pain in the butt. But I haven't taken an allergy pill. Brian hasn't taken an allergy pill. My dad has yet to take an allergy pill, and he has worse allergies than I do, and he's on just Protandim Nerf 2. And our son never took an allergy pill when he was down here either. And so I really just want to reiterate, when Amy was showing all of the different body systems and what different things oxidative stress can affect, that has been a huge thing for me. But you may not notice that right away. I didn't. And I'm like, I just mowed the yard and I don't have any sniffles or congestion at all. And it was like, whoa. But it takes, someone pointing that out sometimes. So you have to record things. You have to take your pictures. You have to pay attention and really some people will be like, I don't know what it's doing. Well, I promise you it's doing something. So here's just a whole bunch of our different products we have. We have lots of different supporting products. Like I said, the collagen, we have we have an omega, which is really cool. We have a D3 plus, which has K in there. Super awesome. We have a supporting system. It's kind of like a multivitamin. It's Rise AM and Rest PM. Your body actually does not absorb a multivitamin like it's supposed to because your body doesn't want certain vitamins and minerals at certain times. So they actually broke it into 2 little things. So you can take it at the correct time. We have hair care, skin care, gut health, and we have Pet Tandem. So we have a dog version of Protandim NRF2. Yes, my dog takes it. One of my dogs takes it. They age much faster than we do, you guys. They age 7 times faster than us. They have way more oxidative stress than we do. And so I just, I think that's really pretty cool. But we take it to make it. And you get in where you fit in. So we have the stack that we talked about, right? But there may be a different stack. I like to tell people, what are your focuses? What are you focusing on? Maybe GLP-1's not for you, but you are interested in the healthy glow stack, or you need some brain activation. You need some clarity. You need some focus. Get in where you fit in, talk to the person who invited you, okay? And just be honest with them. Let them help you. They care. They want to help you. They are here to serve you. So yeah, I'll let Amy talk about this. Or you want me to share my story?
Well, yeah, so this is the last part. We're just about to wrap this up, you guys. I know we're both very passionate, so we could talk about this forever, but we want to respect your time and wrap this up. So getting in as a customer is key, experiencing these products, feeling them. Then there's this other part that's called the Evolve Compensation Plan, where you can evolve and earn at the same time just by simply sharing the product the way that we shared it. You don't have to be the expert. We tag team, we speak for one another, we point people to the information, so you don't have to. And then if you decide to build and grow a team, That is the next level of this compensation plan that's absolutely remarkable for our leaders out there, and then leading a movement. And so this is just something where when I first started, this was not my goal and intent, but this has become just as much of an important product as taking these activators. This Evolve compensation plan has changed our lives dramatically. When we got started back in 2016, we were living in a 2-bedroom apartment with 2 kids, barely making it to the end of the month. And I know that so many people can relate to how that feels. And so after 2 years, this opportunity and me working this in the nooks and crannies and helping enough people, it gave us back options in our life where I was able to come home, like I said. So Ashley, if you want to share just a little bit of your story as we wrap this up and let people figure out where they fit in.
Yeah, so I was not a big, like I said before, I was not a big component of doing something like this again. I just wanted to try the products out. And then I said, no, these are amazing products, sign me up. I feel like this is where God's calling me. And when I started doing more research and I was sharing and I started earning a commission, I was shocked at how much LifeVantage gives you. Keep in mind, I came from other places, okay? And this is not even, those places can't touch this company. What they give to the people who are sharing and serving other people is amazing. And it's been life-changing for us. I have not worked in over a month at the hospital because I needed to be here on the farm. And because of this, and I'm not saying I make a ton of money, and it's been tight around here. Don't let me fool you. But I'm telling you, if it was not for this and the large commission that they do give you, because elsewhere it would not have been suffice. But here, it has allowed me to be where I needed to be and do what I needed to do. So that's been forever changing. And the fact that I get paid, $100 here, $30 here on random days. Like, yes, thank you. It's not just every other Friday or every other, every week at the end of the week. It's actually daily, weekly, monthly. And it's life-changing to be able to have that opportunity. But that comes from helping other people. Like, I don't think of it as work for myself. I think of it as serving. So if that sounds like you, if that sounds like something that you need to do, or you feel like you're being called or led to do, talk to the person who invited you. This can literally change your mind. I think it's all about the mindset of where you're at and how you think about it. But I started because the products were so amazing. And I'm like, more people have to know about this. So anyway.
So I'll finish with this slide here, and this is just our income earnings disclosure statement. And again, like proper disclosures, like we can't guarantee that you're going to make anything if you decide to partner with us, but this just shows the ranks of which every person starts at a consultant rank, and you can go all the way up to presidential consultant. And then I like to focus on the average monthly commissions paid at rank. This is open book. So these numbers, these have all been tried and true. Like if you look at those ranks, you can tell what people are earning on average at that rank, and it is very accurate. And so what, you can just look at that and be like, maybe you're the person that you've Rolodexed 10 people while you've been sitting here thinking, oh my goodness, this person needs to know about this person, this person, this person. Maybe you want to make enough to be able to take the product for free. Getting to consultant 3 would be a really good spot, or senior consultant 1. I've helped many people on our team get to senior consultant 1 in just the first 30 days. I mean, that is absolutely possible because it's just 1,000 of volume that finding, a handful of friends and family that need better health in their life, and then you are getting compensated for that. Then if you jump to managing consultant 1 is kind of that pivotal point where this is pretty supplemental income in a household that is giving people more options. Like maybe that mom, that was me, that was like, I'm paying more in childcare than I'm doing over here in my work almost. It feels like I'm trading more time than money. Like it just wasn't making sense that I was paying somebody else to watch my kids while I was trying to make a few bucks. And so when I came home and I was not I was able to pay myself childcare while LifeVantage was giving me that supplemental income. That was so huge for us and started to really open up. And then when we started to hit the executive ranks, that was life changing. That's where we were really looking at making drastic changes in our lives and opening up new opportunities and able to help so many more people because of it. And so we are currently at the rank of executive consultant too. And I have, that this is not like oh, you're the top of the company and nobody else can get there. No, I bypassed person after person after person after person. You can decide. There's no ceiling to this. And this is another thing. When I worked in the hospital, I could never make more than the person above me. I could never make more than the supervisor. The supervisor couldn't make more than the manager, and the manager couldn't make more than the director. And so that was like the biggest hierarchy ever. In this, I jumped in, and based on the work that I did was exactly the relationship of the paid as rank that I was at. You can decide that for yourself. So I don't know where you fall, but I just want to wrap it up tonight and just say, thank you for tuning in, because now that you have the power in your hands. You get to make an informed decision based off my story, based off Ashley's story, but based off the information that we gave you and putting yourself in that story and deciding, do I want to get started? How do I want to get started? Who do I want to help in the process? Get back with the person that invited you to this and tell them where you're at and just take the next step. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you very much.